In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to build a high ticket one-to-one coaching or consulting offer in 2025. Let's get into it. If you're new here, though, my name's Latice Hudson. I'm an online mentor and coach, and I've been doing this for 5 years, and I've made over $2.1 million online, selling my expertise through courses, one-to-one coaching, group coaching, and digital products. So today we're going to talk about how to build a one-to-one offer that not only you love, but also an offer that people love to buy. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much you love it or like it. If people ain't buying it, that's not helpful. So I'm going to show you how to actually build an offer that not only gets results for people, because we need to also talk about getting results for our clients, but also that you become known for. Because what you want to understand is that about building, especially having somebody in your energy as close as one-to-one, you have to not only have a plan to get people results, but you also have to enjoy what you're teaching. And oftentimes, we as coaches and mentors and consultants, we kind of take the extreme, especially as women. We think we have to overgive, over deliver, and sell our left kidney for people to buy. What I've learned after being in this online space for over 5 years now is that that's just simply not true. What people are really looking for is a pathway and a pathway to results, and they want to just make sure that they can trust that who they're buying from. So let's kind of talk about how to build an offer that actually converts and an offer that gets people to raise their hand and say yes, because that's the goal. In order to change people's lives and get them results, they've got to raise their hand. Okay, so let's get into it. I'm going to show you exactly what you're going to need to build an offer that people actually want. So let's kind of talk about it. First things first, right? We want to talk about, let me make this a little bit bigger because these are quite small. But first things first, what we want to focus on is the outcome. So what you have to understand is that it doesn't matter exactly about like what you want. What matters most is what are people actually buying. So you have to combine not only your skills and expertise, but you also have to combine with the market. So for example, I always give this example when creating offers. At the end of the day, right, joy and happiness and peace are beautiful things. But if people are not solely seeking out just joy and happiness, they're not going to spend $3, $5, 10, $20,000 on that. For one, especially if you're newer online, you don't have a brand presence. You don't have a personal brand. They don't know who you are from Joe or Schmo or Jimmy on the street. So therefore, trying to sell something that's intangible like joy or happiness or peace or something like that, especially as a life coach, it's going to be really difficult to sell it. And the reason why is because that's not what everybody wakes up every single day thinking about. They're not waking up thinking, I really like some joy today. Most people are waking up being like, I really would like to make more money today, or I really would like to fix a relationship with my husband today, or I really would like to lose weight today, right? Now, there's going to be subcategories inside of that, but most people are waking up with that type of mentality. They want to solve a big problem. Okay. So when we think about building an offer that people really, really want, and this is going to be at a really high level, we want to think about being in one of three categories, and there's going to be four as an alternative. The first niche or category is going to be health. So how are you, if you are an expert in your field, right? Maybe you're a fitness trainer, or perhaps you are a doctor or something of those natures, you are going to be qualified to help somebody with their health. Now, obviously, if you just lost weight once and then you're trying to teach other people, maybe not quite, but I'm really talking to experts here. So if you're watching this video, more than likely you're an expert at something. So again, those categories, health, right? So can you help somebody lose weight? Can you help somebody gain weight? Can you help somebody, maybe navigate postpartum? Can you help somebody navigate, like I have a client that she helps women with their hormones. She's a functional nurse practitioner. So something in that health niche is going to be really, really powerful, especially going into 2025. The second niche that we really want to think about is going to be wealth creation. So perhaps maybe you are a CPA, or perhaps you are really good at taxes because you have, maybe you are a licensed tax professional, so on and so forth. Maybe you are really good at marketing on Instagram. Maybe you're really good at YouTube. Maybe you are really, really good at one of those pieces, and you can help somebody make more additional income online. Okay. Online, brick and mortar, it doesn't really matter. I have a client that does assisted living homes. I have clients that help people make money in real estate. If you can help somebody grow their income, career coach, then you are going to be in the wealth category. I'm sorry. The last category, and then I have an alternative for, but it needs to kind of be tied into these other three. The third category is going to be relationships, right? most people want some sort of love in their life, whether it's platonic, romantic, etc. So perhaps you are, maybe you've been married for 15 years. Everybody comes to you for advice about your marriage and your relationships. You're really passionate about talking about it. That can be something that you're qualified to give advice on, and not just advice, but actually being able to see people through and help them actually get a result and show them the way on how to have successful marriages. Maybe that's you. Okay. So those are going to be the three main categories, right? You guys should probably have a good understanding of what you're an expert at, but it's really important that we understand that if people are not waking up saying they want this, they are not going to buy it. I think so often, I'm going to give you guys the fourth category in a second. So often we spend so much time trying to fit ourselves in boxes that people don't even want to open. We have to stop doing that. We have to focus on speaking to people and solving problems that people have already raised their hand for. Okay. This isn't to say that you're going to be like every other fitness coach on Instagram or every other business coach on Facebook or every single YouTube coach or every single dating coach. There are going to be things about you, your brand, your style, how you speak, how you talk, how you show up, the brand that you're building, your energy. That's going to be vastly different than the next coach or consultant. But what we have to understand is that a good offer starts with solving a problem that people have already raised their hand wanting to solve. You do not need to reinvent the wheel. Okay. So I want you to take a second and get really clear on where does your expertise match what the market is already wanting. Okay. A really good exercise to do as well is you can head over to ChatGPT or Google and you can type in, what are the top 20 industries that people are spending money on, right, to solve major life, health, relationship, wealth problems. Plug in your expertise, what people come to you for advice for, what you're really good at, what you're constantly complimented on. Take that and plug it into ChatGPT or YouTube or Google, and it's going to spit back some answers for you on what are some of the top industries or niches that people are investing in. Okay. Because when we think about coaching and consulting, we are going to be charging a high ticket rate. And I'm going to tell you guys what that rate is in a second, but it's going to be super, super crucial that you understand what niche you're going to be in. Okay. So the fourth alternative niche that I want to talk about is going to be spirituality. And I always say this as an alternative because I find that being a spiritual coach or a healer, typically, you really need a strong personal brand. With all of these, you do need to build a personal brand. But even furthermore, with spirituality, there's such a deep level of energy that's involved that a strong personal brand is really important. But furthermore, if you're just starting out, right, we're going to put that to the side for a second. It's going to be really powerful that you tie in your spirituality, right, with one of the other main categories. So a spiritual business coach or a spiritual and holistic health coach or a spiritual relationship coach, tying it into one of those pieces is going to be really powerful. Now, you can be a spiritual life coach, but you need to be really crystal clear on exactly what in somebody's life you're actually helping them with. Okay. So that's what I'm going to touch on today for as far as niches and industries. But those are going to be the 3/4 major industries that you can be in going into 2025. Okay. So let's kind of talk about the next part of this as far as how you're going to actually map out somebody's return on investment. Let me pull up my notes here. Okay. So we've kind of talked about your expertise, what qualifies you, just to touch a little bit more on that as far as what qualifies you. It's going to be also equally important to understand that just because you have a degree in something doesn't mean that you're fully qualified, right? What also qualifies you to teach something is, and it's not just about like outward credentials, those are very important, those make you credible, but that doesn't necessarily qualify you. It's also your personality. Do you like talking to people a lot? Do you like investing energy into people? Do you like having conversations? Do you like all of those things? Because I've worked with people in the past as coaches and consultants, and they don't like talking to people. And if you're not a people person, this is not going to be the right field for you. So I want to be very clear about that heading into 2025. What you have to understand is that you have to enjoy conversing and having conversations and being enmeshed with your clients. This doesn't mean that you're giving them 24/7 access to you, but this does mean that you're going to have a lot of energy floating around you, especially when you're working with somebody one-to-one. Okay. So qualifications that you can look for is, educational credentials. You can look for life experience. You can look at, what are you just naturally known for? What do people come to you for? All of that adds up to qualification. Okay. So you want to use all of that into deciding on how you're going to go and building out this offer. Okay. Now, The third thing, does this market want this? We've already briefly talked about this, but that's back to answering the question, does it fall into one of those 3 or 4 categories? If it doesn't, then leave it alone. Don't even try, don't even attempt it. So many people talk themselves out of greatness because they're trying to be this ultra unique coach or consultant that nobody's asked for. Okay. So if the market wants it, great, you're on the right track. If the market doesn't, then leave it and start over. Okay. Now let's kind of talk about the fourth part, which is return on investment. So I want to talk to all the people out there that are not going to be helping people make money, because that's roughly probably over half of people that are getting into the coaching and consulting field. What I need you guys to understand is like the return on investment isn't just back to how much money they're going to make, because there's going to be industries like health, wellness, relationships, spirituality, that's not going to help people make money. When I think about a return on investment, when somebody goes to work with you, they are making a sacrifice, they are making a trade. And this is something that's so important to understand from a place of psychology. They are making a trade. They are trading their time, their energy, their effort. They're trading something for something else. So when we think about a return on investment, we have to be crystal clear on what are they going to have to sacrifice to have a greater gain. Let me give you an example. If you are, say, and we're in January 2025, so everybody's on their fitness journey, which I'm all about. But if somebody's on their health, they've been stagnant, they've been sedentary, they've been wanting to lose weight, they find you and you're like, hey, I've done this for myself, helped other people, and now I'm going to be able to help you too postpartum after having a baby, all those beautiful things if that's your industry. What you need to understand is that now they are going to have to trade maybe Netflix, or maybe trade time with their partner, or even trade a little bit of time with their kids to be able to now take care of themselves. So that has to be greater than the sacrifice that they're making. So this video isn't about marketing or messaging or anything like that, but in other contexts, I talk about why the sacrifice, you have to basically make the trade-off seem so worth it, because it is. Of course, it's going to be worth it for you to get healthy, lose weight, get fit, and be in the gym and eating right, because that's going to add years to your life. So sure, you're going to have to sacrifice 3 to 5 hours a week, but is it really a sacrifice? Because you're going to be losing those hours if you don't get healthy, right? So it's drawing on the pain a little bit, but also driving on the optimism of like what life gets to really, really look like once you understand how this offer, this program, this, thing that I'm selling you is going to change your life. Okay. So you have to talk about the small trade-offs, or even the big trade-offs you're going to have to make, right? So when you're designing your offer and building it out, the small trade-offs are going to have to make to be able to get the big result. Okay. So it's okay. And put it in their mind that it's okay to take sacrifices to get for the greater gain. Okay. So that's what we also have to touch on when we're building out our offer. The next thing I want to talk about here is really understanding the idea that with that return on investment, it's infinite, right? Getting healthy is an infinite return on investment. Being able to fall in love again after divorce is an infinite return on investment. There's not even a price that you can put on it, okay? So that's really what you're selling. You're selling the outcome, you're selling the result, you're selling the finished house, not necessarily the process, okay? The process is going to be important. We're going to talk about that in a second, but what's really going to be important is understanding what's going to be on the other side of them sacrificing the small or even big sacrifices they have to make right now for the greater gain. Okay. So let's kind of talk about what are going to be some of the tangibles that are going to be included inside of your offer. So when you're selling one-to-one coaching, right, people know that in consulting, it's expensive, right? Because at the end of the day, your time is the most important asset that you have on this planet, period, right? Outside of your health and things like that. Your time is the most important. So people inherently know that one-to-one consulting, coaching, etc., time is going to be the most expensive option. Period. So you're not going to have to spend a lot of time convincing people that your offer is worth it. What we have to also get in our head is that what we're not selling us. We're not selling us as a person. We as people are invaluable, okay? You cannot put, in my opinion, right? You cannot put a price on human life. But what you can do is put a price on the time that you're going to spend helping somebody achieve a result that you've already achieved. Okay. So when we think about the level of access, I'm going to break it down exactly what my one-to-one coaching includes. Okay. When we think about what's included inside of a one-to-one offer, and this is where I'm going to share with you, you don't need to go above and beyond giving everybody 24/7 access. I learned that years ago. And when I did that, all I ever did was burn myself out, and I made my clients dependent on me, looking at me as a savior. And that was not a healthy client and coach relationship was actually very unhealthy. Okay. And I had to let clients go and, things like that, not re-sign clients because I didn't have the understanding that not everybody needs 24 access to me, right? Because at the end of the day, the only person that gets 24 access to you is you, your partner, your spouse, your kids, your clients, your friends. Nobody can get that amount of access to you. Only you. So knowing that the amount of access that they do get needs to be priced accordingly. So if I was building out and kind of how I build out my offers, I, for one, don't think anybody at a one-to-one level needs weekly access from a call standpoint to you. They don't, right? Because I'm looking at one-to-one consulting and coaching as scaling, okay? Because for a long time, I did group coaching for many years and it was beautiful. But in this new season, I'm wanting to show you guys that one-to-one coaching can be just as scalable as group. It's about how you structure it, okay? So the level of access, and I'll give you the play, okay? The level of access, in my opinion, right? You should do no more than 3 calls a month with your clients. These could be 1-hour calls, 45 minutes, or 30 minutes. Okay. It depends on your capacity and it depends on what you want. Okay. So for me, we have packages where there's 2 30-minute calls a month, or there are 2 45-minute calls per month, right? Or less, depending on what the client wants. But our core package right now, it's 2 30-minute calls per month with me, right? And then from there, that's one-to-one with me, my clients, okay? Then from there, what they also get is I also have an entire process on helping my clients. There's 2 pieces that I have focused on helping my clients with. Helping my clients generate leads on autopilot. That's kind of what I'm known for, is ads and like very simple enrollment process and enrolling clients without sales calls and things like that. So my upfront clients, if they've not worked with me before, they have to go through this process, okay? The first few months of us working together is building out their client attraction system, okay? Okay. So I have already done the work to put this inside of a course. Okay. If you are not there yet, you're going to have to build as you go. So you're going to build lessons, you're going to build curriculum, you're going to build a framework. Okay. You're going to build resources essentially. Okay. It could be asynchronous. It could be in order. Asynchronous just means like they pick their own adventure, or it can be in order. So I have it set up where if my person is new to me and they didn't work with me in my group program in the past, or they've not bought my self-study course, we are going to build out the client attraction system that is called Leads on Autopilot. That's my proprietary process. I have a signature system on getting them results to get leads and clients. Okay. So we're going to build that out. That's going to typically take anywhere from 30 to 90 days, depending on the client. Okay. So that's what we're focused on first. From there, after that, we are then focused on scaling their business, right? And for some clients, that's team. For some clients, that's different systems. For some clients, that is going to be their own personal capacity, right? But at the core of all of this, my clients get what I call identity work. Okay. All of my private clients. So yes, I primarily teach strategy forward facing, but inside of my container, this is specific. For me, it's a blend. It's coaching, consulting, and mentoring all in one, my private offer. It's also identity work. It's who you need to become. It's what do you need to do. It's what conversations you need to have. It's the mind junk that you have going on. It's coaching them through all of that. It's mentoring them on what I would do. And it's also consulting them on the strategic parts of their business, or hiring a team or systems or capacity, right? Maybe they need to outsource their laundry. Maybe that's giving them anxiety. I'm going to help them figure that out. Okay. Obviously, I'm not a therapist or anything like that, but I'm going to look at what are the bottlenecks in your life and in your business, because I'm all about helping them build a 7-figure upgrade business, right? And that's going to acquire more than just getting leads and clients. Okay. There's so much more work to that. So I've done the work over the last 5 years to build this whole process out. If you're new to this, you're not going to have all of this yet. But what you will have, right? What you will have in all of this is understanding what it takes to get your clients from A to Z. So what I want you to do is spend time mapping out, how do you get your clients from A to Z? So if you're a health coach and you help your clients lose 20 pounds in 90 days postpartum from having their first, second, or third baby, you've already done it for yourself, right? Because you are your best case study, even if you're brand new. So how did you get there? I want you to look at the end result. What steps, and just, I want you to I use a Remarkable or a pen and paper. I want you to just actually dump this on pen and paper. Okay. Figure out exactly what type of nutrition did you do? Did you walk? Did you take supplements? Did you do like red light therapy? Whatever your unique process is, I want you to get crystal freaking clear on that. And then from there, I want you to also be so clear on what you do not stand for. Okay. So for me, I will never tell my clients to post every single day. I would never tell my clients to only rely on organic. I will never tell my clients they have to do sales calls, right? There's values that are also necessary when you're building out your framework. Okay. I'm going to go deeper in another video on framework and identifying exactly like your position in the market. But for the sake of this video as a high level video, I need you to get really clear on what it is that you did. What did you not do? Right. And then also that's going to start to build out the framework of your offer on what it is that you did and what it is that you didn't do. Okay. Because we have to get clear on both because we want to repel people that are not going to be good for us. Like I would never want to work with a client that they want to build, this massive organic following only. They don't want to run ads. I'm not against organic. This is organic right now, right? But what I'm not going to do is only work with clients that don't want to run it, that don't want to run any ads because much of my business model relies on that. Okay. Also, I'm not going to work with clients that don't believe that, women have rights, right? There's going to be different things values also that are equally important. Okay. So that's how you're going to start to build up the framework of your offer from A to Z. Okay. The next part of this, when we think about like what's actually going to be included, I've already kind of touched on that, but this is it. This is all that you're going to need for a one-to-one offer. You're going to need some level of call access. Okay. So like I said, 2 to 3 times a month where they can touch base with you. You're going to need a way for them to access to talk. And I do Monday through Thursday. I use a messaging app. We use a Voxer or Slack or Telegram, right? And this is where I always say it's like having me in your back pocket. Okay, I'll answer questions within a response time, right? My response time is 48 hours. Again, I set boundaries with myself and my clients. Nobody has access to me 24/7. And then from there, I create, like I said, I have courses and curriculum. So my clients get access to that curriculum. But what makes this really special when I think about the level of access that's included, right? You may not have all this curriculum to start out with. It's okay. You're going to build it as you go. Okay. And I'll do another video on how to build out curriculum soon. But the other part of this is I like to say they get like a custom game plan, right? So when they get 2 to 3 standing calls a month, right? And right now I have 3 months or 6 months. I make it really simple. Okay. I don't offer anything for 12 months because life gets crazy. So I do 3 months or 6 months. Then from there, they get a custom game plan and we build that on our first call, right? I ask my clients a series of questions on my first kickoff call with them. And then from there, I have a template where I know, depending on where the client's at, if they've been a client with me for a while, they already have the leads on autopilot system done. Okay, cool. The roadmap's going to be a little more custom, but I have these semi-custom game plan roadmaps that essentially, right? And I can show you guys what it looks like too. But essentially, I have an understanding of, right, and I'll show you, I actually won't show you guys my actual one, just for the sake of my clients that do pay. What I will show you is roadmaps I give to my clients as templates when they're building out a roadmap for their private clients. So I'll show you guys, and I built these. This is kind of what it looks like. Okay. So this is what a custom roadmap would look like, right? And onboarding, right? And this is just basically, if you, again, don't have curriculum in a course yet, right, build out a roadmap so you can give a high level overview to your client of exactly what they could expect, right? After your kickoff call, I want you to build this out for them. And it's not going to be perfect, right? It's going to say, this is what this is what you're going to include: nutrition, workout basics, implementation, right? My clients use these roadmaps and they crush every time. And the reason why is because it's giving your client an A to Z framework. Because when your clients come to you, whether it's consulting, mentoring, or coaching, they just want to process. Okay. Now, granted, coaching is going to be a little bit more pulling it out of them, where mentoring and consulting is a little bit more telling them what to do. I say you are going to get the most results if you're a blend of all three. That's just my point blank opinion. Okay. So that's how I've been so successful. So when we think about that, having a blend of all three and having this type of document gets them to buy in, and it also gets them encouraged in understanding that there's a process. Okay. So what's included in my one-to-one offers, 3 or 6 months, they get call access. This is one-to-one to me. They get access to curriculum, and then they get a game plan. And then from there, I ask my clients how they like to be followed up with. Now, I'm not going to follow with anybody every single day, but some clients are like, can you check in with me on a Friday? Right. Or can you check in with me on a Monday? So I have a little calendar of like, check in with Jessica, or check in with Becca, or check in with so-and-so, right? So making sure that I have that schedule, right? And I will have days where like Fridays, I don't work on Fridays, right? So I will make sure I'm checking base. If I don't hear from a client within a day or two after I know they're working on an action plan, like part of their roadmap, then from there I will send a goodwill check-in to see, hey, where are you at? How are you doing? Walk me through how this is working out for you. Let's kind of brain dump. Let's kind of sort through it. Let's problem solve, etc. Okay. You are there to support them. But again, you're also not them for them 24/7. It's about finding this really beautiful balance of not going ghost on your clients because they have paid you, but also being able to make them empowered to be supportive on their own and giving them the tools and the resources to do so. Okay. So there's that. So last little part that I want to talk about before we wrap up this video is the pricing. So when I think about pricing your offer specifically, right? If you're a new beginner coach or consultant, I say like for a 3-month offer, honestly, I would say no less than $5,000. Okay. Right. And if you're really scared, 3,000 would be the absolute lowest. But honestly, when we're charging for like you're charging for your time and investing for your time, honestly, like the time between taxes, software, right? These are going to be high profit margins, right? But you're going to on average probably spend between 1 to 3 hours per client per week. So you have to think about that. You know, if you're doing 5,000, let's do the math. 5,000 divided by 12 weeks. Let's see what that looks like. That means essentially over 12 weeks, you're getting paid $416 for your client to work with you. Okay. Okay. Now imagine, I know that might seem high, but it's so low. $416. Okay. For one, people spend that on food every week going out, right? But $416, there's going to be taxes taken out of that 20 to 30%. So let's just take 20 to 30% times, let's just say 0.25. That's $104. So that's minus $104 for taxes. Okay. So, oops. So let's do 416. I'm looking at my calculator over here. So that's about $300 a week. Okay. That is very low because by the time that you're supporting them for 3 months, lots going on. That's $300 a week. So when you guys do the math, that's not even including your business expenses. That's just for one client for 3 months. Okay. 5,000 over 3 months is, not bad. But when we start to think about, okay, the effort, the energy, my expertise, you don't get paid per hour, you're getting paid per package, and selling a package is so much more powerful because you get the buying from the client. Also, you have guaranteed monthly recurring because if you start to do, you do a payment plan, right? So 5,000, let's just say 5,000 divided by 3, that's 1667 a month. Right now, for the next 3 months, you're going to get 1667 for that client. So that's how you start to build monthly recurring revenue. Okay. Which is really important. I talk a lot about this. Okay. This is how we currently are scaling our businesses, one-to-one clients on payment plans, etc., and paying full. Okay. So when you look at that number, 5,000 would be the least I would do, honestly. Right. I would prefer you to be at about 7,500 to 15K, depending on your expertise and authority and all the beautiful things that you've done. Okay. And you may ask, Latisse, how is somebody going to pay me that amount of money? This is how they're going to pay it. Proof of results. Okay. When I say proof of results, when you're building out your offer, the proof of results is that you've been able to do it for yourself. You've been able to do it for other people if you've taken on beta clients or things like that. And just being the loudest in the room, like being loud and drowning out everybody else's noise is going to be so freaking powerful. Okay. When I think about delivering this, all you need to deliver this, your one-to-one offer, let's talk about it. I'm going to write it out for you. This is what you need to deliver it. Okay. You need Zoom to take calls. If you don't even want to do Zoom, you could do WhatsApp, right? But I do Zoom. You need Zoom. You need Google Drive, right? You would need, honestly, I prefer you to use a CRM to manage your clients. I use Airtable as a CRM, right? To manage everybody, check their payments, etc. My team manages it for me, but when you're just starting out, that's all you need, right? You need Zoom, you need Google Drive, you need a way to take payment. Okay. I take payment. I use Wave apps for my private clients and then also Thrivecart. If they, those are two different ways through Stripe. Those are two different ways to take payment. Wave is free. Thrivecart is a one-time fee. You need a way to take payment. You need a contract. I think Google now, I use Zodo. It used to be called EverSign for contracts. Okay. But you can use Google contracts. I think that's out. I think that might be low cost or free. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. Check it. But you need a way to sign a contract. You could go to the legal shop to get a contract. My shout out to my girl Sarah. And you can use code Latisse15 to get a private contract. And then from there, you just need that roadmap, right? You're going to build up that custom roadmap. That's it. You can charge $5,000 plus for a one-to-one offer just like this, okay? Right? And ideally, I mean, I've charged $30,000 for a one-to-one for certain offers, okay? So I've sold this type of offer. When I first started, I was charging $3,000, but I sold this type of offer for $3,000, between $30,000, using roughly the same format. Okay. That's all you need to sell your private coaching and consulting offer. Now, obviously, you need to be good at what you do. You need to be confident in what you do. You need to be communicative, right? Once your client onboards, they need an onboarding email, things like that. But for minimum viable, that's all you need to get started selling your coaching or consulting offer. Okay. Now, obviously, we need to market and things like that. I'll talk about that more in a video. But when we think about selling high ticket consulting and coaching, you're not selling yourself. You're selling a process. You're selling results, right? You're not making claims, but you're selling a process and a recipe to get them on the pathway to results. And you're using your credibility and expertise. Okay. When I look at the most famous people in the world, Serena Williams, and, she has a she's retired now, but she was paying over $1 million for a coach every single year. She's the best freaking tennis player on the planet. She's paying $1 million for a coach, right? And her coach could see the things that she couldn't see, which is why she hired him. So people are going to pay you for levels of expertise, and it's crazy. I've been sitting here filming this video being like, I've talked about these concepts for 5 years, but there's going to be you finding this video in 2025 or 2026 or 2027, whenever you find this, and you're going to be like, wow, this is what I needed. Okay. So I'm quite a few steps ahead of you if you're building your first ever offer or building your next offer. But when we think about scaling your business, you don't need to scale it with group coaching if you don't want to. Like, I love group coaching. I did it for many years, but in this season of my life, one-to-one can be very scalable, right? You can charge 5, 10, 15, 30, 50, $100,000 for private coaching. I've seen it. I haven't done $100,000 yet, but I'm on the path, right? I already have my $100,000 offer ready to go, because what people are paying for is proximity and access to you. They're not paying for, necessarily lessons and modules. Yes, they want a recipe and a pathway, but it doesn't have to be perfect. It has to be honest. It has to be an integrity. It has to be an intentional. It has to be correctly able to be clarified and demonstrated. But if you've already done that, like, the sky's the mother freaking limit, right? It's really, the sky's not even the limit. The sky's the floor. So selling one-to-one offers in 2025, in my opinion, is going to be the fastest way for you to start to create wealth, active income. And then you can take that active income and put it into passive income. Right now, I have videos on this channel about passive income. I love it. It's beautiful. But like, when I think about the most hybrid model that gives me the most freedom, joy, and flexibility and depth, and not just breadth, it's having a combination of one-to-one offers, right? And eventually you can also do community if you really want to, right? But it's having a combination of my high touch, high access one-to-one that me, which is very limited. I only take on between, 8 to 12 one-to-one clients at a time, right? And then from there, selling my courses and digital products. And that's getting me to my 100K per month profit business every single month. Okay. Moving forward, now that we've implemented it. So continue to follow my journey. I'm documenting all of this, but building your first ever offer or next offer and realizing that one-to-one is just as scalable as group is powerful. And in 2025, if your goal is to do the same, send me a DM over on Instagram with the word info, and I'll talk to you about how we can build this out for you and your business, especially if you are a coach or a consultant and you're really wanting to have more freedom and flexibility, but you don't have to sell your soul for it. You don't have to dance on TikTok and all those great things, right? Maybe that's just not your vibe. Maybe you just really want to help people grow their businesses or grow their relationships with love or lose weight or whatever it is that you do. You can do this one-to-one and still work 15, 20 hours a week and still make a crap ton of money while doing so. Okay. So that's how you're going to be successful building out your one-to-one offer. That's all that you need. Now, granted, it's a really high level overview, but that's the game plan, you guys. That's the roadmap to building out a high touch, high ticket one-to-one offer that sells and scales in 2025. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give me a like, give me a thumbs up, comment below, tell me a little bit more about you and your offer, and be sure to subscribe to this video. Okay. And again, if you want help building out your own signature one-to-one offer, consulting or coaching offer, send me a DM over on Instagram with the word info, and I'll send you all the details about how we can work together this year and beyond. So I hope you found a lot of joy and a lot of value in this video, and I will see you in the next one.